Welcome to Ag Shorts. Today's topic is extra things. Oftentimes you'll see on a farm or a ranch, there's a lot of random stuff hanging about, such as tires, wire, parts, random objects willy-nilly thrown about, or if our case, oftentimes they'll be set aside in an organized fashion, although it may not look like that to the outside eye. So what are those extra things? Why are they there? And what is oftentimes the reason for them being there?
Well, it depends on the place. For us, I try to keep things somewhat neat and tidy. You won't find old equipment laying out in a pasture somewhere.
Right.
It
Just
drives me
sitting there.
crazy to see. But you know what? Sometimes somebody will have a piece of equipment break down and they're not going to do anything with it, and it sits there, and they, they literally don't do anything with it. Tires will rot off of it, and it's sitting there, and weeds growing up around it, and they're never going to do anything with it. I can't do that. I just that organizational gene that I got that mostly works just won't allow me to do that. So I'm always cleaning stuff up like that, picking stuff up. But there are some good usable pieces of equipment or parts off of something that you may not need it right now, but growing up again with Depression era grandparents, they didn't throw anything away, and for good reason, because you never know when you're going to use it. And even people in their households, they'll have a junk drawer or some box of stuff that they might have, and they'll hang on to it for 6 7 years, and they said, I'm getting rid of this. I'm never going to use it. And the minute you do that, it's a countdown for how many weeks or days it's going to take before you wish you hadn't thrown that away. You need it now. So there's usually an area around ranches that's what you've got. You've got kind of a bone pile of especially metal scraps. You can always shine something up, clean it up, cut it, um, heat it, weld it, bend it, whatever you need to make something or strengthen something or do whatever you need to do to keep something else running. So, um, yeah, sometimes it can look unsightly, and I don't like that as well. But I do like to kind of keep things organized and in a line, and you know, put away somewhat where it's not an eyesore. And I mean, that's just me. But sometimes people look at things the way you've got it, and no matter how you've got it set up, if you don't have all your vehicles parked exactly with the bumpers along a 90-degree meridian, uh, they don't think that's neat either. So there's you can have a roof coming off of a place, and they're just fine with it. So it's all about your tolerance. And you know what? Sometimes it just takes some money to do some of that sort of stuff too. But every couple of years, I'll grab some stuff that I'll dig a little deeper in our pile and say, yeah, okay, this is going to go. I'm not going to look at this anymore. And I'll stick it on in a trailer and take it to town and sell it for scrap. So I just kind of like to keep it neat, nice, and but have something usable too, because you know metal prices what they are. If I can go get a chunk of stock round something that's 24 inches long and it's 3/4 of an inch or an inch in diameter, that's a little chunk of money, and it costs money to go and get it in town. So always have that kind of stuff on hand. That's just the way it is. Wood is the same way. Try to keep it covered, but wood is a commodity, and it is, you know, as we saw this last little bit during the COVID, the price of lumber products, it just went outrageous. You couldn't afford them. So hang on to it, take care of it, and keep it handy.
The moral of the story is there might be a scrap pile, but it doesn't mean it's just thrown together without any disregard or regard, I guess is what I should say, of what's happening or what's in there. It is actually usable. It just might not look so good from the outside. So with
Right.
that, that's extra things on the ranch.